Former First Lady Michelle Obama was a huge supporter of Prince Harry's Invictus Games. And now Melania Trump is carrying on her legacy. The 47-year-old First Lady took a trip to Toronto, Canada, to meet with Harry on Saturday ahead of the opening ceremony for the third annual Invictus Games, the multi-sport international event Harry created specifically for wounded, injured, or sick armed services personnel. Wearing a black and white dog-tooth Dior suit, Trump was all smiles as she shook hands with Harry and posed for photographers in the Yorkville East conference room of the local Sheraton Hotel. Chris Jackson Getty Images. The two then sat on cream-colored leather seats with the respective flags for each of their countries behind them and a white orchid sitting on a table between them, briefly chatting in front of pool reporters. "Thank you. Thank you so much for coming," Harry, who wore a navy suit with a crisp white shirt and maroon tie, told the First Lady. Trump is leading a U.S. delegation to the Paralympic-style games. Her trip to the event is her first solo trip out of the country since her husband assumed the presidency in January. Chris Jackson Getty Images related everything handsome Prince Harry has been up to at the 2017 Invictus Games in Toronto. Harry later met with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. After shaking hands at the meeting Saturday, Harry thanked him and described the reaction to Invictus Games in Canada as absolutely amazing. He said, "There's a real buzz across Toronto. Everyone's getting into it." Trudeau also thanked Harry and added that, "Sophie and I wish every competitor the best." Chris Jackson Getty Image, and as the press were summoned out, Harry put aside his airs and graces and leant in to whisper Trudeau a joke, which made him loudly splutter with laughter. The duo had a clear rapport when Harry flew out to promote the games in Toronto last year. They were seen laughing and smiling as they watched a demo ice hockey game together. Meghan Markle is also an acquaintance of the 45-year-old Prime Minister. Chris Jackson Getty Images. Last year, the Suits actress even shared a candid black and white photograph of them together on Instagram. The pair had been chatting together on a sofa at the One Young World Summit in Ottawa. Meghan is also friends with his wife, Lady Sophie Gregoire Trudeau, and has reportedly taken her advice on how to deal with fame. The pair even attended a party together at the Toronto Soho House last year. Chris Jackson Getty Images. Harry launched the Invictus Games in 2014. The title comes from the Latin word invictus, meaning unconquered or undefeated. "These guys do not want sympathy," Harry told People exclusively in 2016. They view it as an opportunity to put on a show for all those people who have supported them. The games are similar to the U.S. Warrior Games, which was created in 2010 by the United States Department of Defense. Harry says he was inspired to create his own event after seeing a British team compete in the Warrior Games in 2013. Related video. Watch. Natasha Stoynoff breaks silence, accuses Donald Trump of sexual attack. The first Invictus Games took place at London's Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park in 2014, after just 10 months of planning. Several hundred competitors from over 13 countries took place, including U.S. military members. The second took place last year in Orlando, Florida, when the number of competitors grew to 500 from 15 countries across 10 sporting events, such as wheelchair basketball, swimming and indoor rowing. A fourth annual games are set for next year in Sydney, Australia. Related video. Prince Harry's in Sydney, Australia ahead of the 2018 Invictus Games. Meanwhile, this year's games kick off Saturday evening, officially starting 8 days of sporting events across 12 adaptive sports involving around 550 competitors from 17 nations. It ends on September 30th with a star-studded concert with performances by Bruce Springsteen, Kelly Clarkson and Bryan Adams. Harry's girlfriend, Meghan Markle, is also expected to attend the games in her adopted hometown of Toronto, where she lives and films her hit show, Suits, according to insiders.